r/TwoXChromosomes. Jellamelo000 says, is it normal for a mom to watch their 11-year-old daughter bathe? I didn't start taking showers until around 12. Up until then my mom would always watch me get naked then watch as I bathed. She'd look at my naked body too before I got in, she wasn't looking away. She'd run the water and basically fix the bath up for me. I remember my breasts were developing, so I'd pull my shoulders back to tighten the skin, so my breasts would flatten. It didn't really help though. They had already grown in a bit. So yeah, she saw me naked like that going through early puberty. She would also pee in the toilet next to me while I bathed, which I could see and hear up close since there wasn't a curtain. Was this incest? Behavior? She's known to be a freak with her adult siblings, like kissing them in bed and snuggling them. Or dancing with them like a couple. Letting them rub her thighs, etc. Her brothers also looked at her breasts as she slept when she was a kid and they were teens. When her brother, my uncle, sad me when I was 22, she just said I was playing the victim and still hung out with the uncle like nothing happened. My uncle also didn't give a damn about what he had done. So, she's got major issues. It left me not knowing what was normal during my childhood and what wasn't. If it's not normal, what is the proper cutoff age to see your kid naked? Coffee says, helping a child with a bath, running the water, washing/rinsing hair, seems reasonable as long as the child is comfortable with it. The second the child wants privacy, they should be given it absolutely. Being in a room with a naked child who doesn't to be seen naked is absolutely wrong. So the age itself is not the issue. Some cultures have very different attitudes towards nudity. Spend some time in a German change room versus a US change room and it's pretty obvious that the cultural norms are dialed in very differently. The fact that your uncle saw you and your mom did nothing is seriously burying the lead. Your mother allowed abuse. She was abusive. The bathing made you uncomfortable because your mom was not and is not a safe person. Cav Scout 43 says, I don't think I was naked in a bathroom with my parents since before kindergarten. Around 4 to 5 I wasn't an idiot kid getting soap and water in my eyes constantly from the shower, so I was good to go. Some people have the you can go to the bathroom when someone else is in there with you mentality. I personally like my space, so I think the other person's preferences, consent, are critical in if that's okay or not. It sounds like you were made uncomfortable a lot, whether the mother was incestuous towards you or just an inconsiderate dick. Greyhair_don't_care says, I stopped watching my kids getting naked when they started kindergarten. They themselves asked to let them be alone. We would only ask of them to let the bathroom door open and sing, so I could make sure they didn't drown or hurt themselves during bath time. We did not have a line of sight in the bathroom, long hallway, so that was our compromise. At 7 it was necessary anymore, they were old enough to know what they were doing. Edit, we did that for each kids at different times, obviously, never together. The Lady Isabel says, let the bathroom door open and sing. Yes. I did this too. If she was singing then she clearly hadn't drowned lol. The Lady Isabel says, my daughter is 7. I haven't supervised her bathing since she was like 5. Samultaja says, I'm European so I've always been confused about USA bathing culture. How do you guys know when your kids start needing training bras if you don't see them naked regularly? Or how do you know when to instruct them with like shaving and stuff? Drunk Uranus says, budding breasts are visible through the light fabric of a t-shirt. If they show interest in shaving, then we talk to them about shaving. Involved parents can usually support their children's needs without seeing them naked. Belesevich says, it sounds like you were uncomfortable with it, which makes it not okay and takes it into abusive territory. Children are entitled to privacy, especially with regard to their body, and particularly by the time they reach puberty. While there are many cultures where nudity within families is normal, no parent has the right to view their child's naked body when the child is not comfortable with it. It sounds like your mother was impacted by her own sad experiences and didn't understand either boundaries around nudity or consent. That's common, and it's 100% on her to address her own issues so they don't harm you, which she failed to do. You can have compassion for what led her to that, but don't let her off the hook of accountability for the harm she caused with her behavior. The bathing thing is very not okay. The situation with your uncle is horrific. If I were in your shoes, I would seek counseling and consider going low or no contact with her for the foreseeable future while you work it through and heal. You deserved better from her, and whether it was deliberate or not, she failed you significantly. r/TwoXChromosomes. Enter the Ergosphere says. Journalism really needs to stop calling it an abortion pill. The article I just saw was from ABC, yes, a fundamentally Christian network, but calling it an abortion pill is ludicrous. 1. It has many uses beyond abortion. 2. One of them is saving lives from miscarriage, the other is preventing pregnancy. 3. And this appeals to every person, including the deepest caverns of fascism, #THEYR, frick, I'm around with every medical approval by the FDA ever. If you think this is right, consider when ultra-Christians think heart medicine is cheating God's will. Candid with Family says. I despise when they call it an abortion pill. I had a missed miscarriage in December of 2020. I waited as long as I possibly could, my personal preference, to let it pass naturally, but I was beginning to make my midwife nervous as the risk of infection increased. I waited 3 weeks before picking up the prescription and taking the pill. I can't imagine having made that whole thing more traumatic by needing to be hospitalized for infection. My midwife was serious about preventing it from getting to that point, and I imagine providers in places such as Texas, where I lived previously and saw said midwife, are going to struggle with knowing what can happen. I was not passing the pregnancy on my own, my body was being difficult. I needed intervention to prevent infection. I'm glad I was able to have access to it. It's infuriating that women are going to lose access. Infuriating isn't even a strong enough word. Latucine says. How is ABC a fundamentally Christian network? They're owned by Disney. r/TwoXChromosomes. Normalizing Flow says. Our standards are higher because we can provide what we require. That is all. Pura Sangria says. And it's not gold digging to ask that our partners be similarly situated. Ashley_California says. Very true. Most women I know became the man they wanted to find, and now they have no need to settle, so why should they? r/TwoXChromosomes. Saverman 1994 says. Male coworker tells me, female, not to use swear words. Preface, I, 28-year female, work in a gruff, male-dominated environment where swear words are a part of the everyday vocabulary. I've been in this industry for 8 years and I've picked up on the habit. I know it's not great, but when you're around it so much, you end up picking up on it. Also, language is not directed at people to insult them, just casually. We had one of our managers, older female, visiting our office, sharing my team's space the other day to work on some IT stuff with our IT guy. I have worked with her 4 years on and off. She is very close industry friends with a older male manager who I work with every day. He and I are the same level of manager positions for different departments. After the female manager was leaving, I guess she had a moment to speak to this fellow male manager of mine. Later, the male manager called me over to talk to him. He took the opportunity to tell me that the female manager had said I didn't know she talked like that, referring to my foul language. He then proceeded to tell me that I need to know my audience and not speak like that in front of certain people. He meant well, but it rubbed me the wrong way. I tried to stand up for myself, stating why it's acceptable for all the men to talk like this, but not me. And considering how many years I've worked with this female manager, and she is only now realizing I swear throughout the day when she is in my office space, should speak to the fact that I know when to turn it off. I felt targeted, since all the men in roles below, level, and above me all swear. No one pulls them aside to watch their language and be respectable. Am I in the peace _ toast 50 says. That guy is a dickhead. Wolf told him to frick off there and then. I have no shame. Icelock013 says. Hopefully you looked him in the eye and said, frick off. But yes, I'm sorry to say I would have given the same advice. It's a shame you took this the way you did, but I also can't say I'd blame you for it. We all have different reactions at different times. I may have let it rub me the wrong way too, hence the frick off with a smile, or I may have listened. Depends on my day or week or month, you know. If it is continuing to bug you in 2 weeks, then it was his delivery, your day/week/etc. Whatever, but most importantly, never let anyone or anything make you feel you need to change who you are or how you act. You didn't do anything wrong. You're fine. We all have these situations pop up from time to time. Let it go or learn from it, but be happy regardless. Australia27 says. Double standards suck. Keep your potty mouth. That's all for this video. Was it good? I know not, for I'm a robot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This video is the product of an automated process.